I'm Julia. Welcome to another Embrace Joy Yoga video. So today we have a nice recovery flow for the lower body. This is going to be a great flow to do, just a slow flow yoga sequence for recovering that lower body. Whether you are a lifter and you've done a lot of squats, just a lot of work on those glutes, hamstrings, hips, or if you're a runner or a dancer or anyone that uses a lot of legs. So we are going to get started here, ready to just rest and recover those hard working legs. So we can go ahead and just get started on our mat. For this practice, if you would like to have a strap, I recommend a strap for the first posture that we're going to do. Having a strap will be helpful. If you do not have a strap, you can take a moment to go grab a belt or a scarf. You want something that's not stretchy, but something that's stiff enough so that you can hold onto it and really keep that stiffness there. So not an exercise band or anything, but more like a scarf or a belt. That will work in place of a yoga strap. So go ahead and lay down flat on your back in Shavasana. We're just going to start in Shavasana. Just taking that nice deep breath. Thinking about your intention. Maybe you're here practicing today because you've just run a long run, or you've been riding your bike, climbing, hiking, walking, or even just doing some power yoga flows where you're feeling some stiffness and soreness in those legs. So we're going to just let all that go and help release that tension in those legs. Go ahead and take your strap. You're going to lift your right leg. You're going to put that strap right down, right in the middle of your foot, pressing equally on that strap with both sides of the foot. Your left leg is out long, or it can be bent next to you. Either way is fine. Keeping those shoulders on the ground, holding onto that strap to help support that leg. You can keep those toes in line with the shoulder. If you point your toes down, you will feel more in that hamstring and that calf. Just moving with that breath. Want to stay connected with the breath. We'll be here for several breaths. On your next inhale, lower that left leg, maybe wiggle that right leg around, and then exhale, begin to cross it over your left leg, not all the way down to the floor. Keep it kind of hovering a little bit, getting that IT band, that stretch back there. Inhale, bring that right leg back up to center. Exhale, shake it out a little bit, wiggle it around, and then bring that left foot up to meet the right. Just taking a couple of breaths. Maybe you're rocking back and forth a little bit. And then you can bring that right leg down, pressing on that strap with both sides, equally through both sides of that left foot. Hold this here for several breaths. Maybe bend and straighten that leg just a little bit, and then begin to take it over to the right side. Again, not all the way to the floor, kind of hovering a little bit, getting into that IT band, into that hip. Bring that left leg back up to center. Bring your right leg up to meet the left. Maybe rock back and forth just a little bit. Lose that strap. Set that aside. Hug those knees into your chest. Massage that lower back. Then we're going to rock and roll up to a seated position. Coming to the center of our mat. Going to do cradle. So for cradle, you start here in your easy seat. Go ahead and pull up your right leg. You're going to cradle your leg with your arms. Just like this. Just holding that leg up there. Can be a little intense, but we're just here for a couple of breaths. Big inhale, exhale, lower that down, just roll out those shoulders a little bit. Change the cross of those legs. We're going to go ahead and inhale, bring that left leg up. We're going to cradle that left leg here. Keeping connected with that breath, pressing those shoulders down away from your ears. Another big inhale, exhale, let it go. And then we're going to bring our legs out into a straddle. Just taking a moment to open these hips. You can flex and point your toes. Then just begin to walk your hands forward, coming as far forward as you would like, as is accessible to you. Inhale, slowly roll up, roll those shoulders back. Bring your left foot in to touch your right thigh. The bottom of your left foot is touching your right thigh. Square those hips with your right foot. Take a nice fold over. Careful not to hunch your shoulders up. Just try to elongate that spine. You can slightly bend your knee if you'd like. Feeling that nice stretch in the leg. Inhale, roll it back up through center. Switch sides. Left leg comes out long. Bring on that right foot into the left thigh. Square your hips with your left foot and then fold over that left leg. Again, keeping a bend in the knee if you'd like. One more breath here. Big inhale. Come back up through center. Let it go. Coming here into easy seat and then transitioning onto all fours, tabletop position. Knees are stacked underneath the hips. Wrists stacked under the shoulders. We're just going to take some leg extensions. So bring that right leg back out long. Press through that leg. Left leg, shifting your hips back gently. Careful not to have your head hanging down, but keeping your gaze towards the top of your mat. Keeping your spine nice and long, your neck in line. And we're just going to take some hip openers. So kind of circle open the hips. Starting on the left side this time. And then change the direction, so pushing back first and then coming forward. Nice hip circle. And then we'll take our right side now. Coming forward first, opening that hip, and coming back down to meet the left. Trying to keep the rest of your body still as possible here. Come backwards. That hip circle. Just kind of press back like you're going to do a child's pose. And then come back up through tabletop, step it back to plank, and then bring your right foot to the outside of your hands, your right hand. So you're in this runner's lunge here, nice and long. Take a nice deep breath. Really opening that hip, just really focus on pressing that hip forward, keeping that knee in line with your ankle so we're not shifting forward, hovering over our toes, keeping that nice in alignment here. Lower that back knee and foot. Then we'll take a twist to the side. Bring your hands back down to center. We're going to take half splits. So if you have yoga blocks, feel free to grab those yoga blocks here for half splits. Coming back up on that back knee, peeling that foot up off the mat so that your heel is resting on the mat. You can take those blocks on either side of your leg and use that just to give you some height here on this fold over, this forward fold. If you don't have blocks, that's totally fine. You can bring your palms to the mat. You can be up on your fingertips, whatever is the most comfortable. You can bend this knee if you need to. Getting that nice deep stretch. Shift it forward, back to that runner's lunge. You can move the blocks out of the way for now and take that plank again. And then we'll come up to the left side here. Bring that left side up next to your left hand. Nice long straight runner's lunge. Keeping that knee stacked over the ankle, pressing into that hip, getting that nice stretch. And open up for that twist. Inhale, exhale back to center. Lower that right knee down to the mat, coming back for half splits. Grab your blocks if you'd like blocks here. Peeling that left foot up off the mat. Folding forward into that half split. Feeling that nice stretch in the back of the leg. Inhale, shift forward back to that runner's lunge. Set aside the blocks. Step back to plank. And then we're going to shift our hips up and back to downward facing dog. Keeping those shoulder blades pressed down your back. Palms planted firmly in the mat. Fingers spread wide. Your knees can be bent. Elbows facing inward. We're not collapsing our elbows out. Keeping that nice, good form here. Keeping that navel drawn to your spine. Walk the dog just a little bit. Lift that right leg high. Open up that hip. Three-legged dog. And lower down. And just kind of bend those knees down, come back up, press into downward facing dog, pedal those feet. Go ahead and lift that left leg high, open up that hip. Three-legged dog here. Lower that leg. Press those hips back. Maybe you shift forward to plank for a moment and then press those hips back. Bring your right leg high and then bring your knee through to meet your right hand, your right knee to your right hand. Lower that leg, that left leg down, and then come forward for sleeping pigeon. You have an option to place a block underneath your hip, just to keep your hip from collapsing down. Inhale, begin to press forward, move that block off to the side. Step back into plank and then downward facing dog. Left leg comes high. Bring that left knee to meet the left wrist. Lower that right leg. And come down for sleeping pigeon on the left. Again, you can place that block here underneath your hip for support. Try to keep those hips straight, not collapsing. Inhale, begin to lift up, remove that block. Tuck those toes, step back into plank. Shift down onto your knees, bring those big toes together, bring your knees as wide as the mat. And come down for wide child's pose. Really opening those hips. Stretching out that back, connecting with that breath. Coming up through tabletop. Bring your legs out underneath you. We're going to come down to lie flat on the mat. Then we're going to just hug those knees into your chest. Keep your block near you by if you would like for our twist. We're just going to lay down flat. Hug your knees into your chest. Massage that lower back. And then take those legs out to the side. Take those legs out first over to the right side. And if you would like, you can place a block in between your legs, between your knees. Just relieve any tension in that lower back. Gaze out over your left shoulder. Connecting with your breath. Inhale, come back through center. If you have that block, you can leave that block there as you switch sides. Coming into the left side twist. You can bring those knees back to center. Remove your block. Get ready to lay down for Shavasana. Tucking those shoulder blades underneath you. Letting your feet fall out to the side. Let go of any tension. Just let yourself rest. Give yourself that much deserved stillness. Letting your body relax and recover. You can stay in Shavasana as long as you would like, but if you are ready, go ahead and begin to bring awareness to your breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Begin to flutter open the eyes. Roll over to your side in the fetal position. Just taking another breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And then begin to lift yourself up into an easy seat in the center of your mat. Just take one more nice big deep inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Remembering to send yourself love and compassion. Thanking your body for everything that it does for you. And remembering to embrace joy wherever you can find it today. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.